Hey guys, my name is Dice Rollin. Today I'm going to be giving you a list of some of the most paranormally active cemeteries from around the world. I've already covered cemeteries in the US, so if you'd like to see that list, then click here. Graveyards and cemeteries have always been looked at as extremely eerie places. Who wouldn't find the final resting place of so many deceased people just a little creepy? More often than not, there's the added element of spirits wandering around. So without further ado, these are my top 10 most haunted cemeteries in the world. Chamala Cemetery in San Juan, Chamala, Mexico. The Catholic Church's original priest abandoned this place for no apparent reason in the 60s. There are thousands of people buried in the church's graveyard. The site not only serves as the resting place for human bodies, but those of sacrificial chickens, as the space is frequented by shamans who perform various ceremonies. Cimitero di San Michele in Venice, Italy. Established in the 19th century and still in use today, this island is entirely dedicated to those departed. Gondolas used specifically to carry the bodies to the island were used. Numerous unidentified spirits have been seen by the few visitors who go there. Capela dos Ochos in Évora, Portugal. This chapel was built in the 16th century by a Franciscan monk to serve the purpose of showing death as just a transition. This place is quite literally filled with the remains of approximately 5,000 people. They were taken from several church cemeteries nearby. 2 bodies are featured hanging from the ceiling. Maybe some of the deceased residents aren't too thrilled with being used in this fashion. Valley of the Kings in Luxor, Egypt. The final resting place of King Tut himself is also said to be haunted by his spirit and Ramses II, as well as the ghosts of other pharaohs. The archaeologists and excavators who first discovered the tomb are supposedly the ones who released the ghosts of those who were buried there. It's also believed that they awoke the curse of the pharaohs, as nearly all of those present during its opening died of disease. Sedlec Osuri in Kutna Hora, Czech Republic. This is another chapel dedicated to those who have died in a more decorative fashion. A local woodcarver is responsible for the crests, pyramids, and even chandeliers, made entirely from those buried there. Also known as the Bone Church, it showcases the bones of about 40,000 people, a majority of whom died from the plague of the 14th century. Ganges River in Varanasi, India. Obviously this doesn't seem like any graveyard or cemetery at all, but it is known as the holiest place in Hindu beliefs. It's over 1,500 miles long, and really isn't the best place for a swim. Those who are cremated typically have their ashes thrown into the water to be given salvation. Sometimes bodies aren't cremated, and will wash up on the shores from time to time. People who visit the river have reported strange things and eerie feelings, likely caused by the many spirits who remain where their bodies were immersed. Old Jewish Cemetery in Prague, Czech Republic. Here is a cemetery that miraculously survived World War II and had been used since the 15th century. Looking at any photo of this site, it's obvious just how many headstones there are. The reason for this is rather creepy. Space had become very limited at some point during the cemetery's use, so more soil was brought in to create a new layer to bury the recently deceased in. This was something that had been done a lot, as there are approximately 100,000 graves and 12 layers to the grounds. It's such a crowded space. I'm not at all surprised that there have been reports of spirits walking the grounds. There also may or may not be a golem that protects those who are buried here. Catacombs in Paris, France. By now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about the infamous catacombs. You should, as it's known as one of the world's most haunted locations. So it should be no surprise that it's very active with the ghosts of the over 6 million people buried there, who now follow tour groups around. This is a unique burial place, in that there really aren't any gravestones, but instead the dead are stacked and placed in different, almost decorative ways. These tunnels were used from 1785 to the 1800s for this purpose. Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, Scotland. One of the oldest graveyards in Edinburgh. It was established in the 16th century. There have been over 400 reports of ghostly activity experienced here. This cemetery is said to be the literal haunting ground of a particularly violent spirit named Sir George Mackenzie. He was the overseer of the Covenanters' prison, where prisoners were treated very inhumanly. There have been reports of him attacking tourists and visitors. Highgate Cemetery in London, England. Among the 170,000 people buried in the cemetery, there are quite a few celebrities, including Karl Marx and Charles Dickens. There are also quite a few mysterious apparitions that have been seen by those who visit. Such sightings include that of a man who stares off before disappearing from sight, an elderly woman who runs past the gravestones, and a 7-foot-tall man bearing the resemblance of a vampire who has been attacking people since the 60s. And those were my 10 most haunted cemeteries and graveyards in the world. Again, if you'd like to see my picks for 10 of the most haunted cemeteries in America, be sure to click the card up in the corner. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. And leave a comment down below telling me what cemeteries you believe are the most haunted, and any other lists you'd like to see. Also, don't forget to share this video to help the channel grow, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you later.